Welcome to our June 27th meeting. We have approval of the agenda for the open session and any disclosures of interest. Hearing none, first of all, I'd like to begin by acknowledging that we are in Robinson Superior Treaty Territory and that the land on which we gather is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe and the Métis. At this time, we'd like to recess council and move into a public meeting regarding the budget bylaw. Has anybody got any questions about the budget bylaw?
Receive any questions?
Yeah, we received nothing. Hearing none, then we'll reconvene council. And there is no delegations. And have you received any questions?
No questions.
No questions. So we'll get right into it then. Minutes of previous meeting, resolution 228-23. Moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Burgeot, that the minutes of the council and committee of the whole meeting held June 13th, 2023 be accepted as circulated. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 229-23. Moved by Councillor Burgeot, seconded by Councillor Morrow, that the minutes of the special council meeting held June 15th, 2023 be accepted as circulated. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Business arising from the minutes, resolution 230-23. Moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Burgeot, that council authorize an agreement with Pitney Bowes for the lease of a Ascend Pro C series postage machine for the term October 1st, 2023 to September 30th, 2028 in the amount of $1,545 per year plus applicable taxes. All those in favor? Carried. (231-23). Moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Burgeot, that council accept the change order from Main Rehabilitation Incorporated in the amount of $10,000 plus applicable taxes to provide a new valve at the west side of Highway 17 and at Drummond Street, Ontario streets. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 232-23, moved by Councillor Bergeau, second by Councillor Morrow. That council accept the change order from Main Rehabilitation Incorporated in the amount of $15,000 plus applicable taxes to dig an extra pit and install a 90-degree bend. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 233-23, moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Bergeau. The council accept the change order from Main Rehabilitation Incorporated in the amount of $10,000 plus applicable taxes to provide GPR services for complete locating of water main locates and to provide back services for verifying. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 234-23, moved by Councillor Morrow, second by Councillor Bergeau. The council accept the change order from Main Rehabilitation Incorporated in the amount of $22,425 plus applicable taxes to provide an additional 15 meters of cement lining to Ontario Street. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 235-23, moved by Councillor Bergeau, seconded by Councillor Morrow. The council accept the change order from Main Rehabilitation Incorporated in the amount of $33,000 plus applicable taxes as a credit for water services on Ontario Street. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 236-23, moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Bergeau, that council accept the quotation from Vector Construction in the amount of $26,915 plus applicable taxes to repair the Cooks Lake Dam spillway. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 237-23, moved by Councillor Bergeau, seconded by Councillor Morrow. That council accept the quotation from Vector Construction in the amount of $8,335 plus applicable taxes for masonry block repairs at the Schreiber Library. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 238 -23. Moved by Councillor Bergeau, seconded by Councillor Morrow, that council accept the Joint Health and Safety Committee operating procedures and terms of reference as agreed between the Township of Schreiber and the members of the Joint Health and Safety Committee, and that the mayor and the CAO/clerk be authorized to sign the document. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 239 -23, moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Bergeau. The council authorized the payment of the 2023 Agasavan Chamber of Commerce membership in the amount of $150. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 240-23. Moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Bergeau. The council authorized a donation of a T-shirt and a hat to the Terrace Bay Fish Derby Committee in the amount of $38.98, excluding applicable taxes, for the 34th annual Terrace Bay Fish Derby. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Accounts for payment, there's none, and no unfinished business. We'll move on to other business. Resolution 241-23. Moved by Councillor Bergeau, second by Councillor Morrow, that bylaw 21-2023 being a bylaw to provide for the regulation, management, and maintenance of the cemeteries of the Corporation of the Township of Schreiber, known as Schreiber Cemetery and Worthington Bay Cemetery, be given first, second, third, and final readings and enacted. Discussion?
Nathan, do you want to just do an update, like just what we've done to that bylaw? Just
Yeah.
kind of like short form?
The main update rate is with regard to the pricing. So last meeting, we have now put the pricing for the resident full burial at $650, and non-resident, that was just double that $650 rate. With regard to winter burials, there'll be an amendment to essentially change the existing process. So we will make sure that we put appropriate communication out to the public to make sure that they are aware of this change, as we will no longer be proceeding with winter burials.
Excellent.
Any other highlights?
No, opposite, thanks.
No, that was good.
Unless anybody else? No?
Thanks for that, Nathan. All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 242-23. Moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Bergeau, that council accept the report from the treasurer regarding excluded budget expenses for 2023. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 243-23. Moved by Councillor Morrow, second by Councillor Bergeau, that bylaw 22-2023 being a bylaw to adopt the estimates for the sums required during the year 2023 for municipal operations be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. Discussion?
Do you want to provide any additional information, Nathan?
Marlene, is there anything else beyond?
No, this is just a result of the direction provided at the June 15th meeting.
Yeah, the highlight would be the levy increase is essentially at 1.78%, so
79.
79, sorry.
And then these rates that are just between residential, multi, industrial, are just the breakdown because they're taxed at different rates.
With the next bylaw?
The next thing.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that's it.
And again, it's all based on the tax ratios, which
Beautiful.
we passed earlier, so that's
Okay.
pretty much it.
All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 244-23. Moved by Councillor Bergeau, seconded by Councillor Morrow, that bylaw 23-2023 being a bylaw to establish tax rates for the year 2023 for municipal purposes be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. Excuse me. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 245-23. Moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Bergeau, that bylaw 24-2023 being a bylaw to regulate the maintenance of land in the township of Schreiber be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. Discussion?
You want to just give them the highlights from that?
Yeah, the main point here is again removing the wording again for one derelict vehicle. So right now it's going to be there really will be no exterior storage of any derelict vehicles. And again, the key word is exterior, storage, external storage. So that's a key point. That being said, we did look into the grandfathering. There's no grandfathering with regard to this. So what we will do is we'll be doing some patrolling to make sure that any derelict vehicles within the township are addressed.
So once we pass this bylaw, the new land maintenance is law.
Exactly.
And people can see the amount of the fines that they'll be incurring if they don't follow it.
Exactly. What we
Perfect.
will be doing in terms of process is after this is passed, we will be registering the set fines with the provincial offenses court. Once the set fines are approved by the POA, we can then issue fines. That being said, we can definitely get started with compliance right away.
Okay. Thanks, Duncan.
Okay, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 246 -23. Moved by Councilor Morris, seconded by Councilor Bergeau. Bylaw 25-2023, being a bylaw to amend an agreement authorized under bylaw 6-2019 between the corporations of the Township of Schreiber and the District of Thunder Bay Social Services Administration Board be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. Discussion?
That's just to amend the next
It's
bylaw.
Well, no, this is actually to amend the existing
Existing bylaw, okay,
Uh,
sorry, Nathan.
lease agreement which we have with them. We've been awaiting payment for some revenue, and we've been told it was withheld due to there being no terms in the contract that applicable taxes were part of what they had to remit. So they've agreed to move forward on this so long as that wording is put in,
Okay,
and that's what it is.
perfect.
All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 247 -23. Moved by Councilor Bergeau, seconded by Councilor Morrow. That bylaw 26-2023 being a bylaw to authorize the execution of a lease agreement between the corporation of the Township of Schreiber and the District of Thunder Bay Social Services Administration Board be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted.
So this is the new agreement with DSAB. How it's different from the other one was just amending the language to the existing agreement. This will actually put forward a whole new agreement with them. And this time it does include the applicable taxes in the wording, so we should be all good.
And it's for 3 years?
All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 248-23. Moved by Councilor Morrow, seconded by Councilor Bergeau. That bylaw 27-2023, being a bylaw to authorize the execution of a license agreement between the corporation of the Township of Schreiber and the Superior North Community Futures Development Corporation, be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. Discussion?
And similar to the license agreement that was signed with the Victoria Order of Nurses, this is another agreement that allows the Superior North CFDC to access room 124. And again, it's a service that they're providing to provide support for entrepreneurship in our businesses in our community. They do it at no expense. So this licensing agreement just sets the expectation between both parties and makes sure that in lieu of us having to go through a rental agreement each time, that this can be cover the nature of our relationship.
So this agreement provides space
Yeah.
to help our local businesses
Correct.
at no charge.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's a good way of putting it.
All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 249 /23. Moved by Councillor Bergeau, seconded by Councillor Morrow. That bylaw 28-2023 being a bylaw to authorize the execution of an agreement between the Corporation of Township of Schreiber and Beth Ann Mackay for the position of succession planning and process analysis be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. Discussion?
You had put a post out for people who were interested?
Yep. We put it out in the newspaper and we had it. We had to extend it. There was an issue with usually posting it on the web. We extended the deadline and then make sure that there was an opportunity for people to apply to the web.
Okay.
All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 250-23, moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Bergeau. Bylaw 29-2023 being a bylaw to authorize the Corporation of Township Schreiber to enter into an agreement with the Northern Ontario Heritage Fund Corporation under the People and Talent Program. File number 7400721 be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. Discussion?
So this was the funding that we entered into with the NOHFC. And I believe it covers up to 50% of the intern's wages for a year.
All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 251-23. Moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Bergeau, that council approve the Recreation and Festivals Committee's plan for the 2023 Canada Day celebration scheduled to take place July 1st, 2023. Discussion?
It looks like the bulk of this has been funded.
Yep.
And this is advertised on the web already, Nathan?
The brochure
Yep.
went up.
The brochures went out. They did a Facebook post a while back.
Okay.
You can do another repost.
Nope, that's fine.
All those in favor? Carried.
So Saturday at 11. Right.
That was 252.
251.
Okay. Resolution 252-23, moved by Councilor Bergeau, seconded by Councilor Morrow, that council authorize the temporary closure of Winnipeg Street from where Winnipeg Street is intersected by Manitoba Street through to where Winnipeg Street is intersected by Scotia Street, and the temporary closure of Scotia Street from where Scotia Street is intersected by Winnipeg Street through to where Scotia Street is intersected by Subway Street. And that the closures take effect from July 1st, 2023 at 11 a.m. to July 1st, 2023 to 3 p.m. for events associated with Canada Day. And that the streets will reopen to regular vehicular traffic no later than 3:30 p.m. on July 1st, 2023. Discussion? Oh, well,
This was
Okay.
that Canada Day or was it Heritage Day?
That was Canada.
Canada Day? Okay.
all those in favor?
I think I missed some. Do you want to reread that? No way. Yeah, I got you.
Okay. I could.
No, it's okay.
Resolution 253-23, moved by Councilor Morrow, seconded by Councilor Bergeau. This is the one I don't want to reread. The council authorized the temporary closure of Perry Street from where Perry Street is intersected by Langworthy Street to where Perry Street is intersected by Highway 17, and from where Perry Street is intersected by Highway 17 to where Perry Street is intersected by Drummond Street. And the temporary closure of Drummond Street from where Drummond Street is intersected by Perry Street to where Drummond Street is intersected by Walker's Lake Road. And the temporary closure of Walker's Lake Road from where Walker's Lake Road is intersected by Drummond Street to where Walker Lake Road is intersected by Highway 17. And that the closures take effect from July 23rd, 2023, 1:30 p.m. to July 23rd, 2023, 2:30 p.m. for the Heritage Days Parade. And that the streets will reopen to regular vehicular traffic no later than 3 p.m. on July 23rd, 2023. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. So that ends our council meeting portion of the meeting. Now we move on to the committee of the whole reports. And first up, Director of Operations status report.
Tammy, any updates for council? Do you want to just share verbally?
Flushing has been completed. So we are removing the water restriction. We did that today. Cloud Darling will be here next week to complete the balancing of the control system. And our line painting was complete under the new contractor that we've hired this year, and I think he's done a pretty good job.
I thought he did a good
Yeah.
job too.
The light painting, yeah. Hey Tammy, I know that the water restriction is being lifted, but we're still recommending to people that if you live in an even house, water only on an even day.
I believe that's the town.
We're still
bylaw.
doing that, right? Okay.
Maybe we should post that,
Yeah, that hasn't been posted, or maybe it's.
repost it
Repost
after
it.
that, like, cause with the with the,
Even though we're not under restriction, I think it's probably still smart.
Should always just be odds and even, I
Right?
think, yeah.
yeah, no, it's smart to do it.
Yeah.
Definitely smart to do that. So repost just to remind people and
Yeah, I agree.
okay, number 2, multi-year accessibility plan.
I believe Tammy just had an update with the Schedule A at the back with regard to the accessible door operators, the library accessible washroom.
Yeah, once we got into that project, we discovered that the entrance to that washroom is only 29 inches, so it doesn't meet regulation. To renovate that doorway is going to be very extensive, so we've taken that. It's still in the works, but it'll take some further planning, so will not be completed in 2023. The Discovery Center is being worked on for the VR car, installing the new door and door operator on the VR car. And what was the other one? The entrance to the L shape is a little more detailed work needs to be done there as well to get that completed. So our focus will be on the VR car this year, and we'll have to look at budget again for next year.
Okay.
Tammy, when we do work, like accessibility work, whether we've got to buy items or make stuff more accessible, do you know where these get expensed? Like, is it a capital project? Is it just part of, like, recreation would pay for its building, admin would pay for the municipal office? How does that work?
That could be a Marlene question. I usually ask her how much money I have in my GL code.
So it depends on what you're doing, on what your project is. So in this case, the VR car was budgeted in capital. This building is budgeted in capital. It will go to the building expense though. Like
Okay,
each of the separate building expenses, it will get expensed out to.
but it's not necessarily expensed under a line that says this is an accessibility thing.
That's correct.
Okay. And are we constantly on the lookout for AODA money when they come out with their grant programs? I know they open and close really fast, but
That is something that we take a look at and check if there are any of those grants. So since we have these lists, right, it helps
Yes.
us. So if we see something that fits, we'll try and put in an application. That being said, it again, we have to always do the ratio of seeing how much money it costs and
Right.
versus now with the library one that Tammy said it's this extensive renovations. And, it may be a very excellent fit then for a grant because I have to get the return on investment. Like if it takes about a week to apply, right, or 2 weeks, it needs to meet a certain threshold for the money unless it's a very simple grant where we could just do it in a couple hours.
and I know from experience that these grants open and close very quickly. They're open and they're like, you have 2 weeks to apply.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
Okay.
we subscribe to a grant inventory service, so we
Right.
see almost everything that's available.
okay.
Number 3, the finance and special projects administrator report.
2 recommendations here. One that council has identifies that a comprehensive strategic plan is required to provide clear direction for successful decision-making for all stakeholders, and that council authorize a funding application to FedNor with respect to Schreiber's comprehensive strategic plan and commit $8,800 to the project to be secured through taxation. So you've already done that basically in your budget, but these resolutions will be put with the phase 2 application.
So you've moved on to phase 2 with FedNor with this. Well, that's good news.
That's all you need. That's all you need then?
Yep.
Okay, Schreiber Public Library Board meetings. Board meetings, sorry.
Anyone have any questions, either from April?
No, other than, do you know, did they get a hold of Jan for that defibrillator?
I don't know that.
Okay.
No.
All right, just that was about the only thing.
No.
It looks like they're moving ahead with a lot of stuff. They've got
Yeah.
a lot of things planned for Heritage Day too.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And if you have Instagram, the page is top notch. She's doing a great job.
She's doing an amazing job.
Chelsea, the newest member of the board.
Yeah,
Unreal.
I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah.
So it's the Instagram.
It's just I don't know what the handle is for
Yeah,
it.
you just
but
search
it's
in Schreiber Public
Schreiber
Library.
Public Library. She's
She's been doing lots of stuff on
yeah.
it.
Okay, number 5, Aqua. Water and wastewater treatment systems report.
Tammy, was there anything notable in this month's
No.
report?
They have added the information for chemical purchasing as we requested at our meeting with them, so it's nice that they've followed through with that.
Mhm.
But other than that, it's all pretty straightforward.
Okay. Nothing jumped out at me.
No, and I think she's right. It is nice to see the chemical orders on here. It makes more sense.
Okay, communications. Just number 1, it's just a formality.
Just another thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's not funny, but number 3.
Yeah.
Just a quick update on that. John Hall from Terrace Bay did reach out to me, let me know that they did request for some pricing for a quote on this, and it looks like the price would be for 2 carts would be $3,875.90. So far, $2,240 was raised at the time this correspondence was written, which was on Friday. So Terrace Bay was suggesting that between us and themselves, if we were able to potentially split the difference. That difference would be $820 per community. This would allow 1 accessible cart at the cost us locations in one Schreiber and Terrace Bay.
I'm in favor of that.
Yeah, which is why I asked, do we have an accessibility GL? that maybe there was, just I think it's a good idea too, Dave. I'm with you.
I believe this would
Yeah.
be in your PR and
Yeah.
Yeah.
motion.
Yeah, I'm for it.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. It's a slick system. Like honestly, it's a nice system.
Yep.
So this is PR and promotion.
Is that correct, Marlene? Would it likely go under that GL?
Yep. I think it would fit in there.
Yeah.
Yes.
DSAT just, the only exciting thing was that they just were doing quarterly reports on operational strategic planning and financials. There wasn't much new and exciting there unless you have a specific question about financial statements.
Okay. Nothing else in there?
I have a question at number 6, I think. Nathan, do you really think that Bill 3 is going to come into small communities?
I think it's unlikely that it will come into smaller communities. That being said, I think part of the dynamic why it was introduced into larger communities is they're dealing with a substantial number of councillors. We're talking with the city of Toronto before it was reduced down. It was just substantial.
Mhm.
So I think the intent is to just have a strong mayor system in order to give more power, what you say, to one individual in that larger system. It's interesting, but obviously in the dynamics of a small town, it's doesn't really work. So
No,
I
I can imagine.
I can't see it ever, what you say, becoming a possibility.
Mhm.
That being said, a lot of communities are scared. Again, the province can decide anything at any moment, and we have no constitutional guarantees. So we're pretty much any power that we have delegated to us has been authorized and delegated to us by the province. So they can change their mind and say yes, no, change the rules of operation at any point.
Okay.
Especially with the majority government.
Yeah. I just don't see it affecting like little communities. Wouldn't make sense to me.
No, really the point is to beat through the bureaucracy where there's substantial councillors. That being said, I personally don't know the dynamics in those larger
Centers, yeah.
cities. It's just so different. So
Okay. I just thought it was interesting. I did some research and I'm thinking, I just wondered why such a small community was worried about that.
yeah, their main reason for it was to help get housing bills passed.
Yeah.
I don't know if it will work if they have a mayor that doesn't, isn't in favor of the housing development, which may be potentially the case in Toronto now. But
Maybe.
Okay, move on to unfinished business. JML engineering site inspection reports.
Tammy, do you want to provide that update on that?
The project went very well. The first report is the access pits, the cleaning of the pipes, and the relining. The second report is basically attaching all the pipes again and putting it back into service. These guys were very thorough, very professional. I was quite pleased with how the project went. We did a final walkthrough today, and so our warranty starts now, sort of thing, and they'll be back in a year for another walkthrough at the end of that warranty period.
But it was a smooth project, Tammy?
Very.
Nice little report. I like it.
Oh, yeah. They're nice reports, it's right, yeah.
Mhm.
Looks the inside of the pipe looks.
Crazy how different it is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for that. 2023 AMO conference.
So just as an update, Dan had mentioned in correspondence that he will not be able to go.
Okay, then
Do you?
so
Okay.
I'll let Cecile know within by Friday.
Can we by Thursday? I'm not here Friday, so you need to get that canceled.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to do it by Thursday. No problem. The Schreiber Arena project.
You're looking at scheduling. Could you just provide an update and let council know what sort of options we have at this point, Tammy, please?
Yeah, I contacted Simcoe, and it's a 12-week delivery period for the chiller. So we wouldn't have it until October. 2 weeks to install it. So you wouldn't start making ice until the end of October, beginning of November. The other option is to wait until spring. When they do the shutdown, we can start the work at that point. So I basically.
That option.
Well, no, I mean, because was it the chiller or the brine that there was one piece that was reaching its maximum life, wasn't it? Was that the chiller?
The chiller, yeah.
Chiller had another year.
Had another year on it, so yeah.
Did it, Tammy?
You will have, you can have this ice season, you will not have next year's ice season.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's dangerously close to the end of its life, but, I mean, they do inspect it before we do start up.
So we would be comfortable running it for one more season before we replace it. Okay. Gotcha.
I don't have a crystal ball, so that's a hard thing to say.
I know,
I mean, it's
I know.
at the end of its life. It could very well be fine for another season.
Very well could be fine for another 5.
Right.
But they're not letting you do that.
Yeah.
So if we waited till the spring, then we would probably do everything all at once, right, Tam?
Yes, he would do the shutdown. He'll do the brine pump.
Like we just rip through the
all
whole
that.
thing and away we go.
Yeah.
That's your vote, Dave?
That makes the most sense to me, yeah.
Okay.
I think so too.
Okay. Does that help you that you could book them now for the spring to say, okay, I'm booking you now, so don't like put me in the loop, and then that's it, you're good to go.
Yeah, we talked about ordering the chiller and had some discussions as to when we were going to install it. But Simcoe is really quite accommodating. So I just needed to know what your expectation for the ice season was so that I could schedule them.
Because we're saying beginning of November, something goes wrong, then it could be we don't have any ice.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Makes sense.
Okay, move on to other business. Parks Canada draft memorandum of understanding.
This is again a cyclical agreement. It's again like all our, like the bond agreement, like the CFDC agreement, it just to cover the nature of our relationship. That being said, Dan did point out that part of the schedule diagram, the area they want to access is currently on private property, so I'll touch bases with them to have that updated, and then I imagine everything else is okay, so I'll bring it forward as a bylaw.
Questions? Okay, impact draft data sharing and services agreement.
Again, another,
I think
Cyclical.
Dave wanted to be part of this whole discussion and wanted to sit on this committee. I think he wanted an impact. Didn't you? Sure.
You're hilarious.
Come on.
I'm good.
You're good? Okay.
What do we use this for?
this is for mostly our municipal connect.
Oh, okay.
Again, it's covering with Municipal Connect, there's lots of confidential information and whatnot, so it covers all aspects of that agreement.
Gotcha.
So their deadline for signing this agreement is December 23rd, and it becomes in effect for the next 4 years. Okay.
Good. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so if we're good for with everything there, then that's a wrap. So, resolution 254-23, Moved by Counselor Morrow, seconded by Counselor Burgeot, that the meeting now adjourn at 7:55 PM. All those in favor?